What's going on, guys? Back at another video about NIO. Y'all might have noticed today that NIO fell quite a lot, and we might have a reason why it actually fell. So one of the reasons accredited to the sale was because of the firm Citron Research recommended investors to actually sell the stock. They were saying that Tesla was recommended as a bigger rival in the Chinese market for, to sell more cars. This is one of the reasons why they decided that NIO is now a sell. This comes as huge news because NIO was the #1 competitor in the Chinese market. Now this firm is coming out saying that Tesla is in fact that, and they released that they should be selling it, not buying it anymore. So this is actually a reversal of what the firm originally recommended 2 years ago. They actually recommended buying this company 2 years ago, but now they're going back on that statement. They went even far enough to say that anyone buying NIO stock now is not buying a company or its prospects, rather you are buying 3 letters that move on a screen. So I think this is a little bit of an overstatement. Personally, I think this is a little harsh because yes, NIO is up there and it's overextended, but by any means necessary, it is not a bad company. They have proven themselves that they are a worthy company, and they continue to do that. So let's actually take a look at NIO's chart today and see what actually happened today. But before I actually get into the chart, guys, I would like to remind y'all that I do have a free Discord server. I just started out and I'm trying to build a community of traders where we can just get together. We can talk about stocks, charts, or anything that y'all would like to. So if you're interested in that, make sure to click the link in the description below. Once again, it's completely free, and I'm just trying to build a community of traders where we can all come together and just talk about stocks, and try to make as much money as possible. Here's NIO's chart today of what actually happened. Now, in the last video I made about NIO, do y'all remember what I said about how do not chase this stock? It's overextended, and yes, that it could keep going up. There's a lot of potential that it could keep pushing up, but that does not mean it's going to. It could pull back at any moment just because we're so far up there, and that's exactly what happened today. This morning though, we did gap up. We opened up at 51.29 and hit highs of all the way at 54.31. So how many of y'all actually got into this thinking, oh, it's going to 60 or 70 or 80 or 100 even, but then you realize that you made the worst decision because you just saw your account just drop, because once it hit these highs, it just took a beating. For the first part of the morning going to early afternoon, it closed at $45 and it went lows of 44, and then the later part of the day it sunk even more. So we opened here at 45-ish and we hit lows of all the way of $40, guys. We went from 54 at the beginning of the session all the way to lows of $40. That's a $14 move. That is enough to completely drain your account. So I hope none of y'all actually got in this stock and chased it. I hope you took the advice I gave you in the last video of wait out, be patient. This is a good company, and I don't have any doubts that this company will do good, in the future, down further along the lines. But you got to ask yourself, are you going to be in this stock for 5 years, or are you going to be in it, for the next couple of days to weeks? And if you're going to be in it for the next couple of days and weeks, you need to be patient with your entries. Because if you're not, you get that feeling of FOMO. Trust me, I've gotten that feeling too when I first started getting out. I didn't want to miss out on a stock because everyone else is making all of these profits, and I'm just sitting here on the sidelines watching. But 9 times out of 10, it always goes the opposite direction if you want it to. So yes, you could have made money in the morning. I'm not saying you couldn't, but look how fast it turned around, guys. It just plummeted. We had a huge sell-off, and that was partly because of what I believe is that Citron coming out saying that they recommend it being a sell. People saw this, they panicked, and they sold. But that's why we plan out our trades and we do not let emotions control our decisions. So I talked in the other video about NIO that I would like to see a type of pullback. If I was going to get in this before earnings, even looking at after earnings, I would like to see some type of pullback before earnings to this $44 range, and look what happened, guys. It closes at this resistance slash support area. So this was an old resistance area, now it's a new support. So that's why it's such a strong area, and that's why the stock, you know, went to this area. But if you really were patient and you waited, you could have gotten entry at $40, and that was close to the second support area that I was also mentioning that would be a good area to buy it at. However, with the sell-off, even though it was a huge sell-off, this is something I was actually looking forward to NIO doing. You know, we had the run up, we had the pre-earnings run up, and now we're actually selling off before earnings. So there's a couple of things that comes to my mind when this happens. You know, one, we had the pre-earnings run up, and we're just going to sell off into earnings, and we're just going to go down after earnings is announced. But the second one, this is the exciting one, we're selling off because big banks are accumulating shares. They want the share price lower because they know that NIO is going to skyrocket and do a good earnings. So there could be two scenarios like I mentioned here. First one, we have the earnings run up, and then we're just selling off because people think that it's going to do bad for earnings. Or the second one, banks are dumping their shares in hopes of getting down lower because they know that NIO is going to do great for their earnings. Now it could be either one, and my stance on the earning play still stays the same. If I'm going to get into NIO, then it's going to be a small position size. Please, 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 if you're playing calls or puts or even shares, do not let your position size be big, because if it's big and you're wrong, like I said, it's a gamble, you're going to be losing out on money and you're going to get really emotional about it. So guys, please, if you are playing NIO for earnings, be smart with your money and plan out your trade. Like I said, this would have been a bad entry today, getting back in, but the 39.40 range sounds a lot better. So Monday, guys, focus on, you know, how NIO is moving. What's it doing? Is it selling off more? And if it is, you know, ask yourself, is the $39.40 range a good deal? And if it is, still get in a small position and wait to see how earnings play out. Okay, that's what I want to leave y'all with. When you're playing earnings, be smart about it. But like I said, as I mentioned in the earlier video that I posted 2 days ago or a day ago about NIO, I mentioned we were overextended and we're likely going to get a pullback. And don't FOMO into this, because if you do, then it's just going to sell off and you're going to lose money. But we got the sell off, and I still think NIO could still continue to fall lower. So be careful when you're trading this, and if you do trade it, take a small position. But anyways, guys, thank y'all for watching this video, and I appreciate y'all watching it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.